Okay, welcome back, my divine panel, to divinely intervene as needed for the highest good, aka my highest good. This is a little weird. I don't understand what's going on here with the setup, but you can't really see me, but that's fine. Okay, I got a grip of cards on the prefix, strictly need to know basis, and this is an open forum for my divine panel of 8 to just divulge what they need to tell me. So I'm going to go a little backwards and just start with the header cards. I think Queen of Cups. On the right side. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I'm using a different set of cards and they're giving me the Queen of Cups again. And then 2 of Cups in reverse with a 10 of Cups in reverse on my left side. Do you have any idea what that means? This is wonderful. This is upcoming very, very, very abundant, like happily ever after relationships, bonds, partnerships, etc. This is wonderful. I really, and just the Queen of Cups, like I know this undercurrent is coming. I didn't know what to expect out of this. I didn't want to do another like progress report type of thing, but I felt like whatever I just I'm just gonna say that I feel like I'm a disappointment. But you know, that's what happens in darkness, you know? So I'm gonna look at this the grip of cards, and it's shoot, let me see here. King of Wands in reverse. It's a big player type of energy. The Hangman in reverse. Kind of like it's coming into an awareness of your surroundings. And then Temperance in reverse, a huge undercurrent. Okay, good. 7 of Wands in reverse. This is solely you feeling this vibe, Tina. 6 of Swords in reverse, even at your chillest moments, when you 10 of Wands, when you have like a good grip on everything. It's a lot to take in, but it's definitely, I'm holding all the wands, so I've got a good it's like pickup sticks where it's like you win only if you pick up all of it because somebody has to do the work. So even in your chillest state, you can handle a lot, is what it's saying, Tina. 7, but they're saying you don't have to, because 7 of Swords in reverse is verifying it with the Sun card in reverse, the spotlight being seen, and the High Priestess. So you know all of these things. It's a huge awareness, like on full blast, basically. The prefix part A being celebratory is very good, especially with these upcoming things. It's like, even though some things are in progress with certain relationships, like the gradual buy-in that we talked about, it's still, how do I say it? Even though it's abundant in that arena, it can only get bigger and better. So this is really good. I don't know what else to say about that, but okay, open forum for my guides. Need to know basis. What do you want to tell me? My divine panel of 8. It opened up to what cut into it. Justice in reverse cut into the Magician in reverse with 2 other cards on top of it. Which is the Devil card and 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, what does that mean? What's the bottom of the deck? It's the Star card in reverse. So hope resides within, Tina. It's 4:31 for 32, whatever, 34 on the clock. But this is okay. So what? Justice in reverse. So this is there have been many injustices, is what it's saying. This is like switching gears and saying that there's been many injustices occurring against you, Tina, but that's what it looks like as far as the battles, but the war is not over. And it's ensured victory because, but that's just what I'm feeling here. you know, the dark side does always, like, okay, the thing that we have in common, dark side, light side thing, or common goal, is to lead into victory. And so sometimes the interpretation of victory, it shifts over time. You know what I mean? Like, your perspective shifts over time when you get a scope of the environment. And you get to understand really what you want versus what you need. And you find this artistry in life with the shadows and the light. And the darkness is attracted to the light. The light is always attracted to its kind, but as well as the openness to others, which includes different hues, which implies the different shades and therefore shadow work. So it's part of like the comprehensive picture of it all. So I can't complain at this time. I did feel pretty, I'm hearing miserable today. Just because, it's the holidays, and I have to go with the granular effect of, what we should all be thankful for, our health, our lives, the life forms that we care about, and the life forms that are due to arise as well, these upcoming, bonds and relationships. So that said, what I'm trying to say is that the dark side desires that ray of hope as well, that confidence, that inner confidence within. And so I will say that I'm very thankful to have that kind of exposure, influence, and forums, I will say, regardless of the head count of who's following or who's not, regardless of gatekeepers and whatever. I just feel like this is a very, very good thing. This is a lot more meaningful. And so the Pentacle realm is, that takes time. I don't know what's headed for me. I mean, a lot of people have been talking about just some wonderful things and upcoming for me. And I've been seeing that a lot myself, but more so in undercurrent energy. And the new forum that I'm in is only telling in its subtleties, but it shows me that I've grown a lot with just with that exposure. Those are God-given resources. People, even people that we converse or choose not to converse with, people who are unsuspecting. So I'm very grateful for that. And regardless of, like, I just know that I've grown past it because it's noticeable in my environment, but I don't feel anger or hurt caused by these, when I notice these subtleties. So that's a very, very good thing, because I noticed that in this new forum that there's, a variety of walks of life, and they may we all hold a common thread, which, is quite taboo, and some known and some not. And what else do I want to say? And so a lot of, I sense a lot of the people are younger than I am. And I'm just grateful to have that exposure, because every forum that I've been in has elevated in its learning capacities to develop where I'm at. And so it's not proving anything to anyone, but the display of efforts that are almost effortless within me are have such a profound effect that it leaves people questioning, the people that are find aversion with me. It and stabilize. It causes a realization, that Hangman in reversal, because they too are very smart. I don't think they realize how smart they are. Um, that I just see that there's growth potential in these individuals, because it's just a matter of fact. And so the profound effect is, what I'm saying is that things don't have to escalate to being total drama. I don't think the tower moment has to be explosive. You know what I mean? The tower moment in itself is known to be profound, whether you will it or you don't make certain big life choices and changes. And so you're confronted, nevertheless, with these life learnings. And this tells me that I'm nearing the edge of something, like I'm on the verge of something massive. Because, like, for the past, I don't know, at least 24 hours, I've been getting psychic attacks. And I don't feel like, I mean, they're potent, so I know that it's coming from a very ill-seated place. So, but it's weird because I didn't have to recover from it. I didn't feel like I had to do anything, even with the same sensation of targeted pain. And so I wouldn't say that I've built a tolerance level. I would just say I'm getting stronger. So I think that's a beautiful gift to have, unexpected, with such adversity. And with that, it's kind of like progress report time here in what they want to divulge. So that, like, you are not just in a better landscape, with people looking out for you, more than the previous landscape, but it's very lucky, I would say, to experience and to be bestowed that kind of luxury in an environment that no one would really expect to find. I like being in it, because I know that I can learn from, like, how do I say it? Learn in a lighthearted aspect. Learn with an open mind, with knowing that, because it's so questionable by most, that, like, we're all in different places, and we have a variety of reasons for what we do. Some are preferential, and some are just kind of we're forced into. So what I can learn from, I see the potential of the ability to learn from these resources, these other people, of this of the same sex and of not, but more so of the same sex, because you know that I've had a history of struggling with that. And now I don't feel like it's such a struggle. Even within, like, the utmost subtleties, I feel like, Spirit has been very good to me. So it's not like the wand energy, the spirit energy, passionate pursuits, etc., creativity, that I'm finding like a dry spell in relationships, etc. With these resources. I don't feel a dissonance with these resources. I just feel like we come from different walks and ways, and our current alignment shows that we need to interact. We need to be exposed to one another. It is about time, not just for me, but those that are exposed to me. And I feel like that's where my life is going right now, regardless of the industry or the forum. So I feel like Spirit is preparing me for something. And I'm in acceptance. Okay, so this popped out. Excuse me, 10-10, or no, 15-10 on the clock. 9 of Pentacles in reverse. 8 of Pentacles in reverse. This is weird. Okay. The World card. Okay, let's read it in story time, because the next one is the Tower moment. And we just kind of like talked about that. So 9 of Pentacles in reverse. That's either codependence or interdependence, or a cue to stabilize your like, it's kind of like the 7 of Pentacles here in with the 8 of Pentacles in reversal right here. So it's kind of like a countdown. Yeah, this is a countdown to finish. Holy smokes. So it's not me that needs to fulfill these checkpoints. It's only a matter of time, is what they're saying, because the implication is narrowing down to 7 of Pentacles here, saying like, okay, it's not codependence, it's not interdependence. It's more like, you don't need to put any more work in, Tina, to what you've done already. You don't, like, your garden is there. Your garden is abundant. It's just fertile underneath the soil. So that's the end of that. You don't need to, you know, like, this is organic, is what it's saying. Like, you don't have to do any more to it. 8 of Pentacles in reversal, you don't need to pull on the extras. This is something that's like, what you say goes, like, in what's next after the Tower moment. 6 of Cups. So yeah, you don't need to do extras to fulfill like this prophecy of building like soul tie relationships, like ones that carried over from past life, or even if you don't even believe in that, this is something that just carries over. This is something like ingrained in your DNA. The historic view, the blueprint of your past relationships, and so there's an ability for reformation here, is what they're saying. But like, meanwhile, back at the ranch, your garden is fertilized. It is prophesizing really, really like good fruitful subjects. And so after 6 of Cups, the final card is Ace of Wands in reverse. So it's just like energizing in the soils. So there's no like shit factor in it. It's more of like the it factor. You, Tina. This is the single Ace of Wands here that backs up, let's say, like the 6 invisible wands right behind you. You have backing, you have support, victorious people who are I don't know what this sign is, like that. What is that sign? But anyway, it's highlighting you, Tina, your involvement in this. Like it's like what do you call it? Putting a stake in the ground, like discovery mode. Like, I discovered this. And so a lot of the findings are kind of miraculous in such a place that you wouldn't suspect. Even with, you know, so ever since I willed a certain Tower moment, other things started happening, which, you know, forced me to comply in where I stand. Because once you make a firm decision, it makes all the other decisions kind of align with that main one, that main big one. Like, you can't deny it in yourself. Like, you'd be lying to yourself if you chose otherwise. So you naturally, what I did was fall into alignment with that big, major, big decision. And so, those are the mechanics of it. What's the new bottom of the deck? King of Swords in reverse. So this is being heavily stern with yourself. This is not an external expression. This is being, this is very much internalized, your mental scapes, your subconscious in what controls you. So as you know, I told you that with my, I forgot what I got distracted here. So what I was trying to say is, when I started getting a little tearful, is that ever since I made that big tower moment decision, and my life kind of cracked almost, like just kind of like an earthquake. Earth shattering is what, yeah, it was earth shattering before that. But this kind of broke up the earth, like, not just in the aesthetic view of the external, but let's say if it's an epidermis, it went deep down. So if you're looking at burns, it wasn't like a 1st degree burn or second. This is more like of a 3rd degree burn. So when you say like the wound is fresh, it's fresh in a way that's like, you remember that you're human. You remember that other people are human too. And you give yourself and others wiggle room to manage. And this is not about finding or saying who's the best manager of all, or who's the fairest of them all. But this is more like, what do you do with your energy? What do you do as a provider of this particular resource, right? And so what was this? The King of Swords in reverse. What's behind that card? The 4 of Wands in reverse. So this is a little bit of like unearthing turmoil. It's kind of like, visualize this, okay? So it's the mental scape of like, at a glance, what you see and what you, like, your perspective, whether it's fixed or if there's room for like flex to it. So when a sprout grows from the ground, it comes in like bloop, you know, it's not just, I wouldn't say it's semi-perpendicular, okay? It's not just straight up vertical, okay? When a seed sprouts, it's like, hello, you know? And so what happens with that is that it looks like it's wilting. So when it's just like emerging, it's like, it's eager to like bust out. Like, it has so much pressure and force to move out of that ground into to see the sun. And so the spotlight is kind of reviewing me in that manner. And depending on where you're at in life, you can either see me as like a youngling wilting, or a youngling just like ready, like bursting out. So that's beautiful. I really, that's accolades, and it's like very like, and it's like, there's no favoritism here. This is just the visualization and the perspective of what is actual from a sprout to, you know, human. And as I accept that into my own life, I also can manage to easily see that and give that wiggle room to others. And so I think that's what other people are catching on to as well. Very unsuspecting energy is what I'm getting here. All right, so anything else that you want to tell me, my divine forum, my divine panel of 8 for open forum. Okay, this card is 9 of Swords. So they could not stress this, like, this is a huge emphasis on unsuspecting energy. And you know, historically speaking, I'm very much unsuspecting energy. It is 7:13 right now, a prefix, Christmas Eve. And okay, this 3rd time's a charm, I'm going to tell you. Okay, I didn't finish this thought. I was trying to get around to it. But like, making that firm decision, the big one, has led me to be flexible in inflexible moments, very fixed moments. So The resource of the pentacle, which I think everyone has come to understand, even if you're one of the echelons, any kind of deficit that exceeds the pentacle energy is still pentacle energy, because once you reach like this very abundant nature of like having like all you could ever have and whatever money could buy, there's you hit a plateau, right? And so the intangibles become more memorable and decisive in its energy in the materialization of the pentacle is formulated all around the intangible. So the human spirit, the authenticity of loyal, solid, fruitful relationships become a thing to echelon energy. And so the deficit, okay, what were we saying about that? The pentacle energy. Okay, so Christmas. I don't know how many years it's going to take. I think, I'm just talking out loud, okay? I don't, because every year that progresses since that major tower moment, which I'm very happy I made, I've struggled with, when am I going to get back on my feet for a good Christmas, you know? When am I going to be able to deliver that to the kids? When I don't understand. But I am very lucky to have kids that understand without discussion. So that's where I am, and I believe that this year would have been different, but you know, oh, this deck split to this. What is it? King of Pentacles in reverse. What's behind him? Ace of Pentacles in reverse. So I have an undercover boss that's very much invested. Queen of Wands in reverse. Kind of like seeing me not just as a pentacle, not just as a thing, but beyond the physicality of what I represent. Six of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, definitely. And just kind of on reserve. I'm on kind of like in a holding tank to restabilize. And what's after that? Queen of Pentacles. But it'll come for sure. And then death right after that with the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, you know, money comes and goes. That's just the nature of what should be. You know what I mean? Like, you should never ever feel limitations with the physicalities of things, but rather see the opportunity to find more meaning with what the worlds have proposed to us. Like, it's kind of like, it's not like would you rather, but it's more like, what if, okay? Like, these scenarios are, just like, what would you do if this happened, you know? And so it's harmless in that role play. And they're saying they're riveting or reverting, but they're saying it's riveting to revert back to the reference to RPG games. And So this is not like supposedly like all fun and games, but this is rather a simulation. I know that's like a buzzword now in the spiritual community, but it's a simulation. When I first used it years ago, it was more like simulation was derived from back in the day when I used to watch X-Men, when it was the cartoon version of it. I was hooked on it, and I still love it. But they had simulations of, battles in order to just develop their skill set. And so again, unexpected energy, but also with that expectation of needing to deliver your very best. And so we're about 30 minutes in right now to this little discussion thing here going on. But they're saying you're doing very well. Like, if I'm reading between the lines, I'd have to say that they're saying that I'm doing very well. So I didn't output a question, but I think the verbiage is understood to be more of, hey, Tina's the querent, right? So they wanted to answer that, like kind of soothe any wrinkles in any stressors. Like, they're not saying this is for your own good, eat your Brussels sprouts, etc. This is saying, Tina, these are Brussels sprouts, these are greens, these are very, very good for you. You can find a way to doll them up and digest it in a way that suits you. In fact, in a way that suits you so well, so favorably, that it suits others as well. So whatever you made custom for yourself can be like a blanket experience and remedy for others. And then they can fine tune from there. So this is wonderful. My legs were tingling, my right leg anyway, and it's not numb. So what else do you want to say on my divine panel? Like, they're saying don't get too focused on the physical realm, what it looks like in numbers, whether that's, displayed anywhere. Even with the time, I forgot to mention that time thing. So they're saying it's only a matter of time. So that part of it that we discussed, it's more like time is like a man-made thing. So it's more of like a concept. It's more of like the construct of building structure surrounding the separation of this and that. And yeah, they did a clap on that. So they told me to look at the bottom, and this is the fountain. I forget what the fountain means, so we're just gonna read it real quick, okay? The fountain. The fountain card. Our interconnectedness on this planet has never been more clear. Technology has given us near limitless access to knowledge, more than we could possibly comprehend. It has illuminated the interweaving and singular consciousness that sages, witches, and shamans have embodied for thousands of years. The fountain card is an eternal context beyond human experience, in which anything and everything can happen. I was going to say everything, like anything can happen. But that's what they're saying here. So this is the ultimate like Ace of Cups type of energy. But like the fountain doesn't have to imply like a water. Let me finish it. Okay. No. Okay. So the fountain doesn't have to imply like water emergence and like the constant flow of it. But it could also mean like fireworks, like the emergence. The fountain card is an emergence. And so overall, with what we're saying, this is about growth, and that it's happening. Like, you don't have to question the growth that's happening. So this is heavy pentacle energy if we're talking like the echelon vibe. So though tarot could not have anticipated this burgeoning connection and awareness, it now begs for its expression. The fountain card represents this expression. Like the Fool, it exists outside of the 21 cards of the major arcana, beyond the cycles of the earthly world. It reflects both solitary experience and timeless unity. It is the ether in which we navigate our imperfect lives and the substance of life itself. So I'll let you screenshot that. I don't know how good that screenshot's going to be. Holy smokes, never mind. Shit. Okay. So there's that. Okay, so we covered that. That's beautiful. Okay, and behind that is the Hierophant card. You can't even see that. Okay. Okay. So this is kind of like in the shadows if we're looking at the total context, because it's darkness and there's a bit of light, but you can only see like the shadowscapes. Maybe I need to use the Shadowscapes Tarot, but the silhouette of this card, like the impressions on it, like just 2D type of view, plain and simple. This is setting the tone of growth. This is like ambidextrous growth. Let's saying like the right hand knows now what the left hand is doing, and so I'm walking, I don't know, I'd say the middle path, understanding that, because my intentions are really, I think they're saying, because I remember rewinding back on previous readings where I had to learn the left-handed path from like mentors, and I think that's the forum here. I think that's a simulation here, that a lot of people who are working the left-handed path are ones to learn from, that I can develop from that arena. So it's weird how it's like ambidextrous in its symmetry in learning. This is crazy. Like, I don't even understand. So what? That's crazy. This is the top of the deck. I'm just curious. This is a Judgment card in reverse. So, this is a determination by spirit self. This is, karma. This is your karma. So I don't know. I can't say that this is quite a punishment, but this is definitely something that where it refines the solidarity of your relationships. So you're either with me or you're not, but you get to see in different situations, in different contexts, whether or not people are going to accept you. And then once you get to that point, you're like, are they just accepting to tolerate, or do they actually love me? Love me for just me, my whole me. No matter what. So this is good. This prophesizes something major about to happen. That's good. And so it necessitates the delving process to look at the roots and see if there's any like grub worms in it that could compromise further growth of that sprout. And so you discover if there, this is a discovery mode where there's leeches or whatever, and respecting your space, and teaching others to respect your space as well. So this is wonderful to see. Anything else that you want to say, my divine panel? Okay. Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. This is leading to a new investment, kind of like freeing. The Page of Pentacles is always a child who like the inner child that gets to play with the ball finally, like, oh, like back before all this technology stuff, it was very simple. Okay, it was very simple, and I would say more innovative in finding ways to spend your time. So when you were given, let's say, a basketball for Christmas or something, you took, like, you didn't question it. You're like, oh, that's it? Oh, that's great. Okay. This is more like a fresh, they're comparing it to herbs, like the fresh, like there's a crispness to this. So you get to go out and play. You get to invest. So whatever all of this stuff is, it's leading to like a new version of self. It's like kind of upgrading the inner child. Am I correct in that? Let me just double check here. What's the clarifier for that? Okay. Yep, cashing in 7 of Pentacles in reverse, definitely. So you're bringing in that new light. This is not just an upgrade to you, Tina, as adult self, but because of that, you have the help of your inner child, which is also upgraded. That means that your inner child is going through a maturation process without losing the spirit of the game, basically. So, and also the spirit of simulation. There's a respect for process in that, as well as its resources. And it doesn't mean that you give people the freebie card into doing whatever the frick they want, whatever they're used to. This is like, again, what they're reminding me is that Ace of Wands energy, like discovery. I have discovered this. It is, what they're saying, unchangeable. Like, you cannot deter me from what my knowing is, especially my particular knowing. So for the past 24 or whatever hours, I've been like watching so many readings, but I realized they are very much general. So I can't penalize anyone for speaking this or that, or verifying or validating whether they're real psychics or not, or whatever. Like, I could do that, but they're saying you could make better use of your time with that. Do your own reading, Tina. If you have anything to complain about, just do your own reading. That's it. And that's it. Like, I don't need to put that weight on other people. Like, other people will have their own judgment. But for my sake, I carry the discernment that I can privatize, is what they're saying. Because no one asked except me. And it doesn't just take the level of someone asking what my knowing is. Let's say in that hypothetical situation, I'm given that level of now other discernment as to whether or not they are worthy of relaying that kind of knowledge. So that's very good. So I was wondering, like, because when I was starting to read, and like, how do I say it? About a year or two ago. No, let's say, like, rewinding back to my Instagram when I did my first wax reading, I think, candle wax reading, drip reading. Around that time, I would have to say maybe 2 years ago, at least, that it prophesizes, like, basically a large time span. So it was just like, how is this going to happen? And then I started finding out all these things in the news that were happening that were in sequence with what I had already divined. So I would say that's not just I'm gifted, that's a gift. And I was granted that. So seeing like the tiptoe phases of these milestones are becoming more like galloping. So it's not just tiptoe, it's more of like a longer stride gait in its measures. But there's still, because of the practice, there's more gracefulness in, they're saying like skipping rocks, but like the rocks are solid there, and I'm just like jumping from one to another. So they're saying you're going to get across, Tina. If you get your feet wet, if like you get your socks wet, don't worry about it. That's all in good measure. It's all fun. and part of it is like a cleansing granted by the Fae energy with what do you call it? I'm hearing druid type of energy, like earth magic energy, like it's blessing you when you get that splash of water like on your socks or whatever, or submerged. That's just like your inner child saying oops. And then you move on. But this is like the excitement of the unexpected. Even if you get your feet wet in the water, you feel the temperature. It reminds you that you're alive and that mistakes happen, and not every mistake is like catastrophic, okay? But you have to allow yourself this uncontrolled wiggle room of these things to happen, because like there are so many things that can happen in life that you might as well experience the unexpected in its favorable nature. Like sometimes when you so in getting your foot wet in the water, they're also giving me the visualization of temperance and the star card. Like you're shining in that in that subtle experience of where, you know, when you talk to somebody about it, it could be like in one ear and out the next. So it's a very sacred experience within these like little mishaps of supposed mishaps. These are things that you can shake off, like your golden retriever. You take them to the dog park after like, or whatever, like a private dog park or whatever, after taking them to a grooming session, and you turn around 1 second, like open whatever to get them a bowl of water, and they're rolling in like a patch of mud that they found. Or you like you see the golden retriever for its nature, and they're shaking it, they're loving it, they're wallowing it. You don't see them as a pig, like you don't see them as like evil. You just see them as like really enjoying what they really enjoy. And so that's what they're giving me the view of. Okay. Anything else that you want to tell me, my divine panel? Yeah, they're saying Waggy. I don't know why. This is the, I think, 5 of Pentacles. Yeah. No, 4 of Pentacles. Yeah, it's camping out in the snow with a tent pitched up, you know. This is ownership. This is accountability, even when things look like desolate in the landscape, when it seems like you're out in the cold and on your own. And as like an old school mother would say, like, I didn't know where you were. You could have been lying dead out in the like streets or whatever. So it's this is accountability in its measure of like competing perspectives as well as your own. So when you bring yourself to the table, you acknowledge, hey, I'm in a snowy area. I gotta, become this survivalist. And it forces you to take accountability, and you live through it. Because what else are you gonna do in this landscape? And so there's seasons of change that are implied here, not just seasons of change within like each quarter of the year, but this is seasons of change within daytime to nighttime. So we have Hecate making an emergence here. Definitely coming from underground to Persephone and Hecate and Anubis, like creatures of transits in the night, in the dark. That's what they're showing me here. Emergence. Okay. Anything else that you want to tell me before I end this reading? Okay, this came up, and then this came off to the side, which is 4 of Cups. So we have master number 44 listening here. So it's cookie and cup. You got your cookie, and your cup is kind of like running dry, Tina. But 4 of Cups in reverse is like you made the choice. You made the right decision. Okay. You're in with Spirit's cup. I'll take it. I'll take it. That cup has been sitting over there for a while, Spirit. Are you? I'm a little parched, and you don't look thirsty. So do you mind if I just grab that for a sec? And I was waiting for you, Tina, to acknowledge that there is a cup over here and that you are, you know, quite thirsty. So, or parched. And so, you know, now that you've acknowledged it, like, you know, when you, the first step, like in AA, is to acknowledge that you have a problem for admittance. And so, this is kind of the admittance of the cup, like, oh, you, like, you acknowledge what you need and you acknowledge that there's a resource there that's available. Yes, you can have it. So it's kind of like an asking factor. It doesn't have to like entail a long discussion of what's needed, but spirit and those that are of the same sort can identify what my needs are without divulging. But I have to divulge it at least to say like, oh, you know, I could really use that if that's just sitting over there. You know, it's that kind of communication. It's very innocent and playful in its request, and it's like honoring what your needs are without being disheveled and upset about it, as I was saying. So 4 of Cups in reverse, and then 8 of Cups in reverse. This is a comeback. Knight of Swords in reverse. There's focus comeback. 9 of Wands in reverse. This is like a comeback without having to show up. This is crazy. This is weird. Okay, 2 of Swords in reverse. Yeah, this is a comeback. Like there's a clearing. There's a clear passage for you, Tina. Like a clear field, open passage for you. You can go this way, that way. Like the pathway is basically an open field that is walkable, hikeable. You know, you can transit in this and feel safe in it. This is your comeback. It's an opening. So this is basically an introduction is what they're saying. This is introduction to Tina time. So maybe I'm going to be meeting people. But anyway, what's this card here that's like right here that kind of popped up? Again, it's a star card in reverse. Hope is within you, Tina. 8 of Swords upright. So it opened up to that. I thought it was just peeking. I didn't know it was opening up to something. Okay. So, this is, I feel like this is mental scape. Like you, I don't know. Like, it seems like you're stuck, Tina, but you're actually not. Wherever you are, you're like this beaming, shining beacon. That's what they're saying. Like a lighthouse. Okay. What was before the light, or before the 8 of Swords? 8 of Wands in reverse. So, it's split master number 88. I think that's a master spiritualist. So the master spiritualist feels confined and feels like confronted, like cornered, by, the area of self-belief. Like, you can do this, Tina. Christmas is just part of the season. It's part of the flavor of the season. So don't let that get you down. Like, you are so very lucky to have grateful kids, very like empathic kids to understand, like grateful, to understand life's complexities in flavor. And so these are like spiritualist foodies here, that you have, younglings. And so like don't get down on yourself because of, you know, these other constructs. Like, you have to understand that Earth carries its like echelons and gatekeepers, etc., whatever, these unseen forces that seek to control and keep things like in order. Control doesn't always mean like dictatorship. It means like also to organize life forms, basically. So you know, your open-mindedness is not necessarily neutral, a realm of neutrality, but more of like a oneness. And so, wow, this is like major growth. So this is not like just a sprout, they're saying, that's like popping up. Like, do not underestimate, Tina. Okay, this is more like sunflower energy. So again, the sun card, right? So that sprout isn't like just like a fresh herb or whatever, but this is something that can be highly utilized too. Sunflower is also edible in a variety of forms, and used for healing aspects. So you are much bigger than what you appear to be, even when people realize you are bigger than what you appear to be. So That's very interesting. Okay. This is good. Okay. Queen of Swords. It spoke the truth for sure. Can you see the silhouette? Semi anyway. Yeah, this is, you spoke the truth on that. Top of the deck, no secret to my sauce, is Five of Pentacles in reverse. Absolutely, you spoke the truth. You're very resourceful with what is provided. This is no lack mindset. Like, nothing is missing. Nothing is missing from Tina, okay? She's gone through soul retrieval. She's gone through, like, collecting, the version of Horcrux in her being. And now that they've kind of like gathered, Two of Pentacles, things are in balance. Things are in balance, Tina, okay? So I would have to say in this discussion that I'm a lot more mediated now. A lot more mediated. There was something else that I was going to say, but they said just leave it at that. Behind that is the Five of Cups. So things are in balance because of your goodbyes. You've done great, Tina, developing how to say goodbye in short-term and long-term interactions. You're doing excellent. So short-term and long-term, for sure. What's behind that? The Fool card in reverse. Yeah, it's because when you start something, you have to be objective. You can't be a know-it-all and say, like, I've been there, done that, this and that, whatever. It's all new context now, because you're not going back into your old, old arena or whatever. It's not same old, because you're a new person. So when you're a developed person and you go into like an old space or like something that's somewhat familiar or whatever, or even absolutely new, you're bringing that context of self to that arena, so it's dealt with differently. I want to get one more behind that. Three of Wands in reverse. Yeah, so like it's WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get, because I'm objective at the beginning. Like, that's my presentation there. So others should be, I'm setting the tone for others to be objective and to me as well. And so it opens up this learning capacity and being able to like deliver our best as is upon that interaction. I'm gonna go more. I was just like, this is really good. The Hierophant again, it's setting the tone. So this is excellent. This is absolutely excellent. We already got the top of the deck. Okay, so my 3 takeaways are, one is Four of Wands in reverse again. Beneath the surface, it's not quite an uprooting, but oh my god, I just learned that my ivy, like, it can easily grow roots like from clippings. I didn't know. Like, I thought, well, I tried it in another arena, but it was a different landscape and probably didn't have enough fluidity to keep it going. But I like, yay, I'm so excited. It's like doing someone's hair, but it's, maybe we have hairdressers here, people who do it on the side, but like, there's certain discoveries in once you try again. Like, it's just a matter of approach, like easygoing approach. I was like, what if I try this? Okay. And then it freaking works out. And that's what they're saying here. Like, this now is not forever. Okay. So, we'll just try it out. It's like easy peasy, man. And so, yeah. So, okay. So this is looking at the root structure, as well as that environment beneath the surface. Yeah. Okay, so that's my first takeaway. It's just a reminder. Go back to emergence, okay? Okay. So, I've had several upgrades since when I first started. And it's not always what you suspect it's going to be, or how it's going to run. You just go with it. You just like, you have to trust, like, Spirit is like the best nanny ever. And so, when you put a meal in front of a kid and you're like, I don't know, whatever, and then they end up liking it, then, you always know, you have to know that there's always going to be a potential win, and that you are a dormant winner. Okay. And just fly with that, Tina, because like you've proven everybody wrong, including yourself. Okay. So with those upgrades, just trust in them, because it's been steady in that realm. And so the successes that I've experienced are very much intangible. And some are tangible, but they're very quieted energies. They're quiet wins. Like that dollhouse that you've seen in my room, I got that for free. Like in some, like there have been, like, do you know how, like, periodically I look for certain things, and so I was very happy to find that dollhouse. Like seriously, I was so happy to find that. Like I want to paint it. I want to do all this other stuff to it. And so you can't lose that excitement, that inner child excitement for things like that. So those are things that are that make me happy. And that actually, that landing stuff like that is a lot more substantial to me than, let's say, I'm going on a date and somebody, you know, buys me flowers or whatever before it. Like, I've never been on a date where somebody gave me flowers, including my ex-husband. And so, it's not to say that it sets the precedence. In fact, it emphasizes that that is not my standard. And I was just going along with it with someone that was very untrustworthy. So, without having to veer into all of that, it's just saying that I can trust spirit. I can trust spirit. That's good. I have my quiet wins. I've been in a place of compliance and earning money and gaining all this experience and refining myself in order to be able to deliver in my current as-is state. And I'm not going to give super accolades. I'm not going to, you know, exceed in the credibility of the landscape past my inputs. But it's just an acknowledgement that I've been in that place of compliance. I've earned the money. I've had expendable income. And even at that point, I was still trying, like, I was still in the aims of, like, catching deals, like, getting certain things, like, just, like, eyeing things. And so a lot of things are, like, secondhand. But at the same time, because of my sense of ownership, it looks like it's just mine. And so I've gone through, so, you know, like I've worked for the things that I have. And some are indirect inputs when people are like, no, you've been gifted this or that. I've inputted a lot into this and into these realms. And so they give back in generous and different ways. And so I'm used to, like, weighing on that pentacle energy to define what success is. And so there's a reformation, an emergence, kind of an elevation. So it's not to say, like, underground bad, in the sun good. It's saying, like, it's an evolution. But also being within both worlds. It's the high priestess within growth, developing, being rooted in the left-handed path, but also seeing the sunshine and, like, wallowing in that without losing place and existence of what grounds you, where you came from. And looking at that, that's an Ace of Wands in itself, the growth, once you're in full alignment, fully erect, and whether or not there are leaves there, that solid branch is basically the trunk of this giving tree. Like, what do I have to offer this world now that I'm seen? And that's a beautiful thing. Okay, so that's my first takeaway. Holy smokes. Okay, second takeaway is, okay, they've been 2 cards. the Page of Cups and the Page of Wands. So it's stirring the cup. So it's a stir of emotions with that youthful energy, that like apprentice energy. Yeah, that's what they're saying. Like a Jedi that is in the cafeteria, basically, and they're mixing their hot cocoa because they want the little marshmallows to melt a little bit, you know, or maybe adding a little cinnamon or whatever. It's you can deliver and it's still good, like this vibe, this youthful, intuitive spirit, but you can also add your little panache to it. You're given that wiggle room, and you're certainly capable of modifying whatever item it is you bring to the table. So this is wonderful. This is not like so there's so much potential here, is what they're saying. I have so much potential. Oh, you know what? I'm supposed to do scrying from like a crystal ball. I forgot. That was my original. Maybe we'll have a part C. I don't know. But that's what they're showing me here. Like when I go to the library and I find like these certain books for 25 cents or 50 cents, like that's what I'm rooting back to. Like I found a gemstone book for, I don't know, 50 cents, and like a week ago, and then I just opened it up today when I was like feeling kind of shitty, like kind of directionless, but like just not feeling right. Like it just needed a little bit of like go here, you know, like scarecrow kind of like looking for a sign, and it pointed to a quartz crystal ball, and I'm supposed to do some scrying and prophesizing. So, being that I just am mentioning that, let's take a little tangent here. And what do you want me to prophesy, Spirit? We'll do microcosmic and then macrocosmic, okay? So what is a prophecy? Like, what do you want me to relay on a microcosmic level first? Oh my God, what the frick? I did not intend to get all of this, but microcosmic, okay. Death, and the Ace of Cups, like I didn't mean to pick it up together, but it's saying pick it up together. So anyway, this is like a baptismal type of thing. When you are baptized, you are initiated basically into a new world, like is purifying anyway. It's a blessing into a new realm. It's an initiation. King of Pentacles in reverse, Ace of Pentacles reverse, Queen of Wands in reverse, and the Six of Coins in reverse. It's picking that up again. So it's emphasizing that there's this undercover boss or something that's very well invested and kind of like protecting me as I harvest. Six of Pentacles in reverse. Or as I use the resources that I currently have. There's something about, I don't know, I just feel like there's some kind of protection here. This King of Pentacles, I don't feel like is in reversal is bad in any of this that has been interpreted so far. This is also, no, that's what that is. Some energy, and this could be multiplied in its in its energetics, let's say multiple identities, but the same energy of protecting me. And I'd have to say this is echelon energy, because they're in their back pocket is a huge pentacle, and then in the other back pocket is me. So it's you know, like when you, back in the day before we did like all this electronic stuff, we had to carry like these fucking wallets, right? Pocketbooks, etc. So what the guys did, they had this thick wallet, and they put it in their back pocket, and then so when they sit down, it's kind of like they get like kind of almost scoliosis because like it's uneven. So but they're saying I'm just as big as the pentacle here, so it's balanced out. So it's kind of like a booster seat is what they're saying. So these people that are assisting me or protecting me are also elevated within their own right. They're elevated within their own action of inputs, because it's relative to me. And so this is, there's incentive, but this is not opportunist incentive. And it might be initially, but they've come to learn that it's far more abundant and giving than just like, oh, this is an opportunity where I get to, you know, increase my own. This is something that's like what I represent to these individuals is a wealth as abundant as their own intangible form. So they treat me just as is. So this is, I'm getting like family type of energy, especially with the initiation. Definitely. So that's what's happening there. Okay. Whew. Okay, now prophesizing on a macrocosmic level. My divine panel, what do you want me to divulge? What do you want me to relay to the folks here? Macrocosmic prophecy. Okay, single card. Whoa. What is it? 10 of Swords in reverse. This is Phoenix energy. This is, again, a collective emergence. So there's an upgrade. Now, whether or not people realize that there's a simulation going on here, like, I swear to you, like, seriously, I came from this landscape, and then I went onto my feed yesterday, and then I saw a particular name on someone's hat, and it was in two versions within my feed, and it was exact. It was very exact. But then when, like, I don't know, a few hours after, I scrolled again, and it was the same content on my feed with these two things, but the thumbnail was different. Like, it no longer said that particular word, phrase, or whatever on that person's, you know, thumbnail. And so there's something bigger going on here. There's definitely something bigger going on here that hits us, like, it hits different. It hits on a, like, a very individual, like, did you just see that? You know, it's kind of that, but it's so intimate that it's like, there's nobody else around to experience, like, did you just see that? You know what I mean? And so it's like this Mandela effect that is like, swirled like a sorbet. And so you get this mix of different flavors. You're in one world, but also in another. That's because your sensations are much more magnified in its acceptance. So therefore the receptivity is like, whoa, major on blast. So that's what it's showing me here. Phoenix energy rising from the ashes. Ashes are also used in, like, I don't know, they're saying dirt magic basically, but it's ashes are basically also used to create, like, this is homemade, like, black salt energy. So it's highly protective, like, and so when you're looking at, like, a new soil, like new grounds, this forum is super duper protected. This is like there's something bigger. There's like a larger control panel here. And I just feel like it's otherworldly, but it's pertaining to our forum here, collectively speaking. So I want to get one clarifier. In all due respect, I don't want to pry. I just, you know, if you could, you know, just clarify if there's anything else cosmic. Queen of Pentacles. This is about, again, earth magic, love magic as well, implied here, because it's the best mother of, you know, it's a respect for basically all sentience. When they're talking about, like, the grand, you know, like the Grand Witch in Roald Dahl's, you know, the movie version with what's her name? Angelica Houston. Yeah. Some people might be from Texas here. Houston, of course. But Angelica Houston, the Grand High Witch. This is That's what they're saying here. This is Grand High Witch energy. Holy smokes, it is. So, oh yeah, I got I got chills from like the left side, like kind of like a banner, like Miss Beauty pageant, hello, kind of energy, but like that from my skull, my left side of my skull, off to like my left shoulder, and then warp down to my like the diagonally across my spine, like that. It was crazy. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. What the heck? That's crazy. This is definitely Grand High Witch energy. So if this is macrocosmic, I'll just get one more. And if I fumble it, I'm going to put it back in and I'll look at it, but just for me. But like, you do something, my divine panel. Okay, just whether or not to share, I again want to respect, but third time is a charmer. So it's the biggest charmer. So I feel like, yeah. Okay, so let's do one more. Okay, clarifying. 8 of Swords. They're saying don't say anymore. Like, you, how do I say it? You could say more, but you don't have to. You know, like, this is weird. Because, look, she's, I don't know if you can see it. Shoot. You see that? All right, my hair got all messed up there. But yeah, it's definitely like, this is crazy. What? There's something like, people want me to say more, but I have the choice as to whether or not to divulge or not. What? Okay, let me see. Should I say it? Or not say it? Say it? Or not say it? They said don't say it. Okay. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so my third takeaway is Judgment in reverse. Holy smokes. I think only other spiritualists within the same vibe will know what that means, like comprehensive, without me even saying it. The clarifier. Oh my god, the Empress card in reverse. For sure. My fellow like psychics know WTF, what this is all about. And I don't need to micromanage what they are due to divulge, but I know that this is solid. Like, this is insane. Like, almost this is mind-blowing type of energy. Like, people yeah, that's crazy. But this is good. This is very, very good. Okay, so that's all that's here right now to say. That we got like almost just about half the deck, you know, read here, and this is what's remaining, which is still a good amount in the storybook. So just leave it there for right now, Tina. Doing wonderful. Excellent. Thanks so very much for all donations provided in and of light and love that reciprocate equally and therefore abundantly. But now that this reading is officially over, I call back all my power, energy, essence, gifts, strength, passions, from those that call upon, cast, generate, bring, magnify, multiply, and or any variation of the aforementioned ill will, intent, thought form, pattern, and or entity to pass through the white light of the Holy Spirit for cleansings, for blessings, for refortification in me, only me, hassle free, no doubt, and no attachments except for all bonus points included. So again, they're driving me back to the essence of gratitude, those that I've acknowledged that are helping me. Blessings be to you, and I hope you have happy and happy holidays. Maybe some of you are going to go to bounce houses or whatever, but definitely, you know, blessings be during your holidays, and hopefully you're spending it with your loved ones, if not acknowledging yourself as a loved one, and enjoying it at that. So That's it for now. Upon closing the portals in this reading, I send all energies back to their appropriate locations outside of mine with their appropriate karmas due, assisting with the sequence of rollout. In light and love, I close the portals in this reading. Now,